Does unconditional love actually exist? Love is an umbrella term we use to express many different emotions. I can love the people who brought me onto this planet. I can love the Lion King. I can love the pepperoni pizza I eat each Friday. I could love my girlfriend who I have no B-roll of because I've never actually had a girlfriend. I do love all of those. Well, all of those who and actually exist. But I've hopefully convinced you all that all of those forms of love are distinctly different emotions, even if our limited language uses the same four-letter word to describe all of them. So, why am I challenging the notion that unconditional love exists? I'll give you a bit of Raymond love history. As a kid in the 1990s, naturally I was fed Disney Renaissance movies that deluded me with successful love stories. And let's not even talk about the sitcoms. But then one day I woke up and was suddenly well beyond age 30 looking back at my empty relationship history, wondering how it's possible that I somehow managed to experience just a single second date in my entire life. This despite having at least a few on-camera girlfriends as a model. Yes, for a brief period of time, I was an actual model. Looking back at the head-scratching trivial reasons women gave me for not wanting to go beyond the first date, while also admitting I have basically all of the qualities they want in a partner, sent me down a journey of self-analysis that eventually led to a sobering but unsurprising conclusion. I had a, let's just say, modest upbringing. Without diving too deep into how cycles of poverty work, it's no surprise that it's only been somewhat recently in life that I've had reasonably prolonged stable employment and income. So when younger adult Raymond told a date that he was between jobs and that date responded by making a trip to the restroom before returning to the table to let younger Raymond know that she had to end the date early because she apparently had a dinner she needed to get to, that was the moment when those aforementioned trivial reasons for me never getting second dates were suddenly no longer head-scratching. When a man struggles to date, others will often attribute that man's struggles to sometimes superficial strategic flaws for his inability to properly play the game. This advice is useless if the real reason for his struggles is that he just never had the buy-in to even enter the arena. And it's here, after I've bored you with my dating background, that I finally tie all of this to the topic of the video. My story is, of course, intended to serve as an example that the popular age-old idea of unconditional love is silly at the very least when it comes to romantic love, considering that romantic love is only available to those who've first met the conditions their prospective partners require. But Raymond, what about other kinds of love? Okay, love, like any emotion, is just a combination of one of four basic emotional chemicals: serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline, and most importantly, oxytocin. You think that the love for your child is unconditional, but the reason you love that child is because your child is a reliable source of oxytocin. You think that the love for your dog is unconditional, but the reason you love that dog is because that dog is also a reliable source of oxytocin and occasionally some of the other chemicals. And speaking of dogs, one of the popular reasons dogs are widely considered the most desired household pet is because of the belief that dogs love humans unconditionally. The truth is that dogs are pack animals who instinctively see you as the alpha, probably because you're a reliable source of nourishment and shelter. So the Raymond theory is that the air quote love you're getting from them is basically them seeking your approval to continue riding the gravy train you've provided. The love of people and pets is not much different from why you love your favorite food or your favorite place. The only difference is that your favorite food brings you dopamine and your favorite place brings you serotonin. You love certain people, animals, and pets because they make you feel good. Those are the conditions of the love you feel. I know people get annoyed at my ability and willingness to de-romanticize even the most romantic things, but there is no greater meaning or mystical force to this. It's all just chemicals that motivate our behavior, and us humans are just junkies for those chemicals. Have you ever wondered why chocolate is associated with love, romance, and all of those stupid holidays we associate with love and romance? It's because chocolate contains a cocktail of feel-good compounds that cause your brain to release many of the same chemicals it releases when you fall in love. It's no surprise that I, someone in his 30s who's never experienced romantic love, has had a borderline chocolate addiction for basically his entire adult life. So if no one is willing to love you romantically, you could always go down to the corner of your street and buy some drugs that will make you feel good. Drugs that come in the form of these socially acceptable little brown squares. There's a Walgreens at the corner down the street from me. The main takeaway is that we love what we love because who and what we love makes us feel good on some level. That is the condition for love to exist, which is why I've concluded that there is no such thing as unconditional love. In fact, it is the conditions of love that give love its value.